So NIO's management mistakes are really hurting NIO investors. I want to go through some of these points that are worth really talking about. And also, I just want to put this ahead of everything, that we do not need to replace management. That is not what I'm saying. But what we do need is someone to help them out. Someone with traditional auto management experience at the top, really just tuning things in, because that's what we need. That's what we need. Because I'm all in with the vision. The vision is good, and we absolutely need William Lee and Chin-Lee Hong. They're absolutely amazing visionaries. They think 20 steps ahead. I'm all in with the vision, but the execution is something different, and the product and things that they can do with the product, that's something worth discussing. And I want to make it clear, my criticism isn't saying that they're doing bad. All right, right now NIO is doing pretty good, actually, #1 in the luxury EV market space. Don't ever forget about that. However, there are definitely things that could be improved and done much, much better, and really boost deliveries to the stratosphere if they did some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about. And of course, boost investor confidence. First very big major mistake that they made was not designing the ET5 for a single motor variant, all in the name of having redundancy and also performance. Now, we'll talk about why we need a single motor so bad, but William Lee says, having dual motors is a must. It's a safety feature in case one of them breaks down. But to be honest, as a NIO owner, I do not believe NIO's motors will ever break down, ever. So there's no need to even worry about one of the motors potentially breaking down. Quality is there. And then the performance aspect, not everybody needs that much performance, especially the ET5, which have been a very hot choice amongst females. They love the car, but they don't really need 3.8 seconds, 0 to 100. I mean, that's way too fast and also dangerous. So instead, most of them have the car set to 12.9 seconds acceleration. But why can't you just have one less motor and then just have it cheaper, more accessible, and then they don't need the performance anyways? And that's the point of issue, making it accessible, because we're seeing January, February, March deliveries were just really good for the ET5, and compared to the other guys, really good car. But because NIO's ET5 doesn't have a single motor variant, NIO can't participate in the price war that much. You see those other guys, they cut the prices for the single motor variant version of the car, and they're able to just lowball NIO and essentially get a lot of customers away, and all see that really reflected in the ET5 numbers. The big mismanagement of not designing the car to be able to manufacture a single motor variant is just a big mishap, in my opinion. I talked to a lot of NIO sales reps and also some of the managers. There's absolutely no way to get a single motor variant ET5. There's no way to make that car. It doesn't exist. It's not possible to build because it wasn't designed at the start. Management decided we're not going to go with a single motor variant, which was a big mistake. So if NIO really wants the ET5 to compete against these other guys that are cutting prices because they're able to keep the production costs down by having a single motor variant, NIO's only option is to sacrifice margin and just cut the price hardcore, and also remove free battery swaps, remove perks, try to make the price lower. And this is also my biggest fear with the ES6, and it's the fact that the ES6 is selling really good right now, but once competitors see that their cars are not selling as well compared to the ES6, they're going to start cutting prices. They got the single motor variant. They can afford to cut prices. They're going to lowball the shit out of the ES6 just like they lowball the shit out of the ET5. And that is my biggest concern, because product-wise, at that around the same price, of course, ES6, no-brainer. But if you're going to save a ton of money and be able to buy the competitors' cars, that makes it a harder choice. And likewise, they did not design the ES6 for a single motor variant, and they left that to the Subrank. And this is my other hot topic, and this is the fact that the Subrank car is ready right now. It's ready. The CEO said it's ready, but they're not launching it until Q4 or Q3, Q4 of next year. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the car to get outdated to launch it then? Come on, we need the sub-brand right now. The price war is happening right now. It's not happening in Q4 of next year. We need it right now. So the fact that they're willing to wait that long to get the sub-brand car out is really baffling to me, in my opinion. You got the car ready, just launch it, man. When it's ready, get it out there. It doesn't matter that you already have so many cars. You might think, oh, we launched too many cars this year. The Subrank car is what we need to lift the brand up, to generate massive sales, to boost delivery numbers. And then there's the assumption that 2024 will be like 2021 for NIO. Now, what happened in 2021? They sold a ton of cars in 2021, despite most of the cars being launched years before. And that was really the peak in a lot of the deliveries for the first-gen models. Now, the reason that happened was mainly because they launched NT 2.0. There was a lot of hype around that car and the future for the brand, and people came in and wanted to buy a NIO. They looked at it, oh, right now they can buy the NT1 cars. All right, let's go with the NT1 cars, lots of deliveries. They think that this will also work right now. They probably will launch and announce NT 3.0 at the end of this year, hype people up. People will want to check out this brand and then buy their cars. But right now, you only have NT 2.0 available, so why don't you just take delivery of that car? And it might work, but we are in a very different environment, all right, compared to 2021. Back then, it was there was a shortage in everything, chip shortage, everything shortage. But right now, we're in a oversupply. Everything is oversupplied. Cars are oversupplied. You got fields of cars everywhere. Everybody's trying to get rid of inventory. They're selling cars like crazy with discounts, massive discounts. And unlike 2021, where you only had a few options for a high-end luxury EV, now you have a ton of options. The market is very different. I really do think that NT 3.0 hype will boost the sales volumes of cars in 2024. However, the ongoing price war and just competitors undercutting NIO like crazy, lowballing the crap out of NIO is not to be underestimated. And also, arguably, the economy right now is in a worse condition than it was back in 2021. On the topic of MPVs, luxury electric MPVs are actually in hot demand here in China. And this is clearly the focus for XPeng and Li Auto as well. Their next vehicles are pure electric MPVs. NIO owners repeatedly wanted an MPV for a NIO. But last year, NIO CEO said they've missed the boat. Last year. I totally believe that they did not miss the boat. There's still time to enter the MPV race. And you see the MPV itself, the Zeekr 009, it gets like 2,000 deliveries a month by itself. I'd say that's pretty good numbers. But they said they've missed the boat. And during the ES8 launch, the best SUV is the best MPV. So basically telling everybody that if you want an MPV, buy the ES8 because it's very close to MPV. And look, NIO is all about offering all these different vehicle models for different customer needs. And a big portion of the customer needs, and right now we're seeing that, right? They have like 7 models available, 8 very soon, all suited for different customer needs. And one of the biggest customer needs, especially in this price category that NIO is aiming at, are MPVs. It also baffles me that, you know, if the strategy is, of course, you have the same chassis, pretty much the same motors, same interior, and same like sensing equipment, LiDAR stuff, everything's the same, and you just change the shell, the outside design, I'm sure they can come up with an MPV in no time and just have it, you know, based on the ES8 basically, and have the same seats, etc., just a different layout. But I think not going for MPV is a big mistake that NIO is making right now. I think, in my honest opinion, it's very important to be able to adapt very fast to the changing market conditions, especially since you saw the ET5 numbers, just absolute crater from March to April, because other guys were cutting prices, and NIO just waited 2 solid months before finally cutting prices in June to adapt to the situation, which I think is a very big mistake, because you lost 2 months of deliveries. 2 months of customers went to the other guys. That could have been revenue for NIO, could have been deliveries for NIO. And I think NIO should be much faster at adapting to these price cuts. If somebody and pay close attention to those pricing of the competitors, as soon as they cut prices, NIO's got to do something, man. NIO's got to do something. Otherwise, you're just gonna be letting your customers go, and you can't do that. You can't just let your customers go. You gotta grab onto them by the belt, make them buy a NIO. And ET5 numbers haven't recovered since. You guys saying management needs to go, all that kind of stuff. In my opinion, no, management needs to stay, but they need to get a few other board directors up there with traditional auto experience and also marketing expertise. I think that will really make NIO become even better than they are today. All right.